The Benchmade Griptilian starts at about £131 over here. So when I saw this one on Aliexpress for £14 posted, I thought I was going to get it. Comes in a reasonably attractive box that's been a bit squashed by the post. I mean, the box may look fairly good, but when you open it, that's a very cheap piece of foam. So what do you get for £14? Not a bad looking axis lock. The axis lock is pretty firm. It's quite nice and positive. Flips in like that. One-handed opening. Lock works like that, just that little cam, which you can't really see. Closes on there. It's quite nice and positive. I'm not sure how strong the design is ever going to be, but it's not too bad. It does say Benchmade on the clip. Markings are fairly good, although that looks slightly off centre to me. Designed by Mel Pardew and apparently in 145 cm, which I had to look at, and it's actually very, very expensive. Good quality steel. I think for 14 quid this is probably D2. It's a nice, comfortable knife, and despite all the markings, you're really not going to expect, you won't confuse this for the original thing. This is nylon, and it just feels cheap because, well, it is. It's also got that really annoying rattle. I think it's something to do with a pocket clip, or possibly one of these screws, or one of these screws not being quite too tight. So, I mean, it's a £14 knife. What do you really expect? It's not going to be great. It does look very much like the original, but again, you're not going to confuse it unless you're completely new to buying knives. It is, overall, a really faithful copy. Like I said, you're not going to get confused with this. This is not going to be, sellable to someone who knows their knives. It just feels too cheap. It sounds cheap. I bet Benchmades don't sound like that. So, sharpness, yeah, reasonably sharp. Sharp enough, probably, for most jobs and most people. So overall, could you recommend this? Well, yeah. It's not going to get very much heavy duty. It's not legal unless you've got a very, very good reason, which I can't think of at the moment, or ever, to carry in the UK. But it's a nice replica, clone, call it what you like. Does the job and looks quite good. And I suppose you could say I've saved 115 odd pounds for something that I wouldn't be able to use very much anyway. So I'm fairly pleased with it. There's no wobble in it. The blade centering, such as it is pretty good. Can't see any light through there. There's no gaps. This all feels reasonably all right, even if it sounds horrible. And that's quite a firm lockup. No wobble in it. No wobble side to side. So yeah, as a replica of a Benchmade Griptilian, this is quite a nice blade.